sports.
Welcome to the Shot Clock, where we're talking sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. I'm your host, Mina SayWhat, and we're 100% digital, 100% live, and 100% real. Let's count them down. We are live. It is the Shot Clock. I'm Mina SayWhat. That is our new intro. It gave me all the feels. Listen, I'm ready to go out there and drop 35 on them, okay? Welcome. This is our digital sports show. I'm your host, like I said, Mina SayWhat. We do this every Monday, 12 o'clock. We are officially streaming live, not just on Facebook, but also Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch. So welcome everyone who's watching the show for the first time. We're doing this every Monday, 12 o'clock. So the whole premise of this is we're actually on a shot clock, okay? I'm going to start it now. We got 20 minutes on the clock to talk about everything that we're going through. First of all, it's February 1st, so I got to say happy first day of Black History Month. We're definitely going to do some things coming up in the show in regards to that. And we're coming off an incredible Sixers game last night, a Sixers win. We were down by like as much as 20 points, came back in the fourth quarter to beat the Pacers. No Joel Embiid. This is our first game that we're winning without him. So it was definitely an incredible Monday, okay? I want to also welcome to the show today for the very first time a friend of mine, Terrell Thomas, sports and entertainment senior editor at These Urban Times. Welcome, T.
Hey, thanks for having me. Honored to be here.
Yo, how about that intro? Didn't it like make you want to go out there and start shooting around?
Yeah, that joint was hard. Big props who made that. That was very hard.
Yeah, shout out to Lonnie and the whole team here. We got a vicious team. Our producers, Amir and Wiso, are also behind the scenes. So let's get into the playbook. This is where we talk about all the top sports stories, particularly here in Philly. We know there's a lot going on with the Eagles, a lot of changes with the coaching staff. I mean, it's kind of like a whole different staff. We have a new defensive, offensive coordinator, a new quarterbacks coach. Deuce Staley is out. Now he's working with the Lions. And of course, our new head coach, Nick Sirianni, did his very first press conference on Monday. T, what were your thoughts on him overall from this press conference?
I want to give the young man a chance, but my initial thoughts were like, we're doomed. I don't know. I wasn't too excited. I watched the whole press conference to try to get a gentleman a chance. And I mean, overall, it'll be about what he's able to do on the field and how he can lead the young men. But I was not impressed.
You know what? A lot of people on social media were kind of making fun of him because he was stuttering a little bit. Like, come on, guys. Like, we haven't even let him call a play yet. And we judging him based off how well he could do a press conference. I mean, obviously, he hasn't done a lot of press conferences in his life. He needs a little work. You know, he was probably a little nervous. It looked like he wasn't prepared at all, but then I would see him look down at his notes. So I'm like, okay, he prepared something, but it wasn't hitting, you know? So I'm going to give him a chance. Then if he starts calling these bogus, crazy plays, then I'm going in. But from the beginning, I said I thought it was a big mistake to get rid of Doug. But we'll see how this guy does. We got to give him a chance. Now, the biggest question at the press conference was, what are we going to do about quarterback gate? Okay, what are we doing? Is it Jalen? Is it Carson? Is it Jalen? First question off of the bat when they opened it up to media, this is what Coach Sirianni said. What we need to do is evaluate the entire roster. We have two quarterbacks in Carson Wentz and Jalen Hurts that are top-notch quarterbacks. A lot of teams don't even have any. That's a good point. So we're just really excited to work with both of them. Every position is going to be evaluated, and every position is going to be open. He really did not answer this question, T. What are you feeling from this answer?
It looked like he's still waiting to get his marching orders. And unfortunately, I hope that's not the situation. But he also did say that Howie Roseman will initially still be in charge of the 52 or 53-man roster. So I think maybe they haven't come to a decision yet on exactly what to do with Carson Wentz. I initially thought that he was hired to kind of revamp or rehabilitate Carson Wentz's career. But after what we saw over the weekend with Matthew Stafford being traded from the Lions to the Rams and Jared Goff's big contract, which is similar to Wentz's being picked up, that does show that there may be room to move on from Carson Wentz. So I think there's still a whole bunch of questions that even Coach Sirianni can't answer yet.
Yeah, and he definitely kind of made it seem like it's going to be a competition. Like nobody really has their spot. People are going to have to fight and prove themselves. And again, going into this, we thought, he comes from the Colts. His coach was Carson's old coach as well. We thought this was a Carson guy that they brought in. They chose Carson over Doug. And after this press conference, it doesn't really seem that way. It seems like he's going to give everybody a chance. And if you got what it takes to be the quarterback, that's what it's going to be. Or maybe he doesn't even initially go with a starting quarterback. Maybe he kind of fills out both of them and then they move on from there. We'll see. Okay, moving forward, All-Star voting is on. Which Sixer will make it this year? It's really exciting because we actually have three, count them, 3 players that potentially could be All-Stars. Of course, our MVP, Joel Embiid. There is never a question of whether he's going to be an all-star or not. Tobias Harris is now newly in the mix. He's had an incredible year under Doc Rivers, averaging 20 points a game this season. So it makes total sense that he is up in the running. Ben Simmons, I am surprised that people are questioning Ben Simmons' all-star status at this point. Because he hasn't been consistently scoring, people are now disregarding what he does on the defensive end, how he creates opportunities for other players via his assists. I mean, do you think all 3 guys are going to make the all-star team? Or are you one of those people, I've talked to a lot of y'all this week that don't think that Ben Simmons is an all-star anymore?
I think Ben Simmons is damn sure an all-star, and I think it's a shame that he's overlooked so much. The guy is damn near averaging a triple-double, 13 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists. I don't know what more he can do. I think cats kind of look at what he doesn't do as far as his jump shooting and his shooting ability, and they overlook how talented that young man is. As you just mentioned, he gets it done on both sides of the floor. Arguably could have been Defensive Player of the Year last year, but before things went into the bubble. And his leadership and court vision does open things up for Embiid as well as Tobias Harris. So I think without a doubt, Ben Simmons should be an all-star this season.
You know what? I saw a statistic saying when Ben Simmons is on the floor, people actually shoot better. And it's not that they're magically shooting better, exponentially. Now, it's not like overall, he creates opportunities where he puts it in people's hands where they can get a good shot. It's not the kind of pass you get. It's the quality of the pass you get. So if Ben's laying it right in where he knows is your sweet spot, obviously scoring is going to go up. Let's look at last night's game. 21 points, 7 assists, 7 rebounds, 4 steals, 2 blocks in 34 minutes. Put some respect on that man's name, please. Yes, Anthony Sellers. And you know what? I think Doc Rivers has the perfect approach to this. Instead of hammering him the way that we've been the past 3 years about his shooting, him and Daryl Morey are building the shooters around him, right? We're starting to see it. Today, there's rumors of JJ Redick coming back. Maybe there's a trade with Danny Green. I felt like we never should have got rid of JJ, and I definitely say that Ben deserves to be an all-star. Whoever is questioning that, you need to watch some games, okay? Fans can submit 1 full ballot each day if you want to vote via the NBA app at NBA.com. You can vote for as much as 10 unique players on Twitter per day. And get this, your vote is going to be counted twice tomorrow, February 2nd, the 4th, the 13th, and the 16th. So let's get our guys to that NBA game, okay? Get to voting. Real quickly, we're running out of time, but these COVID sniffing dogs in Miami, as a fan, we can't wait to get back to the court, but they trying everything. They got the dogs out here trying to sniff for COVID. Nobody knows what COVID smells like, but is this going to entice people to come back? Are they going to feel safe now that they're COVID sniffing dogs sniffing the outside of the arena before you even get in?
I've seen it both ways. I had the pleasure of speaking with someone who attended the game. He said he was pretty nervous at first as the dogs come up to you. It's a new experience, of course. I don't see the point of it, quite honestly. Maybe they know something that we don't know. I know dogs are highly intelligent animals, and they can detect a lot of diseases and viruses and things of that nature. But it gets me to wondering if the dog can smell COVID, does it have COVID as well? There's just so many things that are up in the air. But I mean, I commend the NBA for trying to get fans back into the building. Miami's the only team so far with these COVID sniffing dogs. So I think right now it's about 50-50. Some people are laughing at the idea, and some people are like, hey, whatever it takes to get back in the arena, let's do it.
Well, they use COVID. They use dogs for like bomb detection and drug detection. So there's a way to train them. And they're saying this is 100% accurate. They're already starting to use these dogs overseas at some airports like, Finland and stuff like that. So we'll see if this actually gets people back. I think it's a great idea. I would feel bad for you if you're scared of dogs. Because you're going to have a problem getting into the game. But
you got cheesesteak before the game and the dog smells that.
Absolutely. And lastly, to round out the playbook, just a sad week. Rest in peace to John Chaney. He died last week at the age of 89 years old. An incredible man with an incredible coaching career. Head coach at Temple for 24 seasons, who led the Temple to 17 NCAA tournament appearances. He's coached at Chaney for 10 seasons. Hall of Fame basketball coach, a zone defense innovator. Coach Chaney will be missed. Here's a word from our sponsors.
We've seen how far this game can go, so we take it and run.
Making moves like nobody.
For everybody.
We don't move within the lines.
We move beyond them. Hennessy, the spirit of the NBA.
All right, we got 9:48 on the shot clock. I'm Mina SayWhat. Terrell Thomas is joining us today. Let's get into high fashion. This is where we talk about the different, fashion statements we see in the league. Sports and music and fashion have always been very closely married. I want to talk about some of the Kobe Bryant tributes because last week, it was a year since we lost Kobe and Gianna Bryant to that helicopter accident. Just a terrible day. I remember being on air in Philly and having to deliver that like seconds after it happened. And I was teary-eyed. It was such an emotional, hard moment as a kid who grew up loving Kobe. So I love these tributes. Let's take a look at Steph Curry's sneakers, his girl dad sneakers. So there we see Kobe and Gianna. So beautiful. And he really tied it into his personal life, because on the other side, on the other shoe, he actually featured himself with his two daughters, which kind of goes along with that girl dad theme that we love. I love how he tied it into himself. And then, of course, our very own Joel Embiid, also his sneaker with Under Armour. These look fire. I know some people were like, they don't like Joel's sneakers, but Joel really set it off with these colors. Obviously, the Lakers colors and Kobe and Gianna Bryant on there. I really loved seeing this. It was a subtle way to honor an incredible man. Do you think this is something we're going to see long term in the NBA to honor Kobe's career?
I definitely think so. I think we'll see that not only on January 26th, but throughout players' time on the court. They love Kobe so much. Kobe was innovative in changing the footwear. So many people, as we just saw with the Stephs and Embiid, wear low-cut sneakers now. A lot of that had to do with Kobe's. A lot of people who are in the NBA are also parents, whether they're girl dads or just overall fathers. So I think Kobe's legacy in that lane, along with his NBA greatness, will always forever live on in the NBA, and we'll continue to see tributes like that.
I love it. I love it. Let's move on to J. Cole's Puma sneaks. His second signature sneakers, the Dreamer 2. The first sneakers that he dropped sold out instantly. These are still available. So no shade. Me personally, I think they're a little too clunky for me on the bottom. Maybe in a different color, I would like them. But what do you think about this, T?
Yeah, I'm not really a fan of these right now. I do see why NBA players across the league are gathering and starting to wear them. We saw Marcus Smart had them on the other night, plays for the Boston Celtics. With the bulkiness that you spoke of, I'm hoping that it's able to help players with their ankles or their Achilles while they're running and everything. I might have to actually put them on to see, because from the look of it, I'm not really feeling them. But J. Cole, how he had it with the sweatsuit was hot, so I'll give him props on that. But I'm not feeling them myself, not yet. Got to see another colorway.
I'm a fan of Cole, so I would wear them just to support. I got Dreamville sweatshirts that I wear and everything, so I would do it off the strength of that. We got to support our people, especially when they have these collaborations with these sneaker companies, because you never know, it can lead into something bigger and more than just designing sneakers, but maybe having stakes in sneaker companies or having their own lines and things like that. They lead to other entrepreneurial endeavors there, right?
Facts.
So let's get into what's trending. For some reason, this started trending out of nowhere this week. Drake hanging out with the Currys at In-N-Out. I didn't realize this was an old video until T actually pointed out. So this is actually a video from 2015. I thought this happened recently. Like, I was on air mad because I was like, look, Drake, You out here hanging out with the Currys. You need to be focused on this album. Okay. Okay. Like, what are we doing here, bruh? But why do you think like old stuff like this repops up on the internet?
I think several reasons. I think people were trying to make a mockery of saying, look at them without masks on. Also, Drake was, we spoke about, he was having his own open rec with NBA players and college players throughout the pandemic, trying to stay in shape and whatnot. Whenever there's an opportunity, I think, for people to talk about Drake and his relationship with NBA players, especially members of the Warriors or Kevin Durant, I think it's always going to be a hot trending topic.
I was going to say, Drake wants to be like the sixth man off the bench. Like, he hangs out with more basketball players than rappers. Like, he was hanging out with KD, Kevin Durant, at the Nike headquarters. He filmed the video there. He was at Kyrie Irving's sister's birthday party. Like, does he even know her sister? And then I saw he was recording some music with Lil Baby at James Harden's studio. Why James Harden has a studio, I don't understand. But Drake is out here, right, playing with the ball players. So, yeah, I don't see the Raptors going to the championship again, but hey, whatever. It is what it is. Let's get into another word from our commercial sponsors.
We've seen how far this game can go, so we take it and run.
Making moves like nobody.
For everybody.
We don't move within the lines.
We move beyond them. Hennessy, the spirit of the NBA.
That's right. We are right on time. 15 minutes. You see that, baby. Listen, it's all about getting it in before the buzzer hits, right? It's the Shot Clock. I'm your host, Mina SayWhat. Terrell Thomas is joining me today. T and I know each other for a long time. He's a sports entertainment senior editor at These Urban Times. Back in the day, used to do some things with hip hop since 1987 in Philly. So, T's been out here doing his thing for a long time. Let's get into Shoot Your Shot. This is where we talk about the players' love lives. Yes, you got to get the flick though. See, you got to get the flick. Kobe. So Karl Anthony Towns is dating Jordyn Woods. Now, I thought the busted challenge was dead, but Jordan decided to bring it back to life. Watch this. So that was the video. And then can we go back to Karl's tweet, please? So it's funny, when we were talking about this in our pre-production meeting, the guys were letting it run on. And I was like, I'm going to need y'all to cut that out earlier, y'all. And they were like, we were mesmerized. I know on Twitter, somebody said, her booty hit the back of her neck. I was like, who says that? Not the back of her neck, but this definitely caused a problem on social media. Here's Karl's response. God is good.
Amen. All the time.
All the time. Look, let me tell you something. As entertaining and hilarious as this is, Karl Anthony Towns has had a hell of a year. Yeah. A rough year. He lost family members to COVID, including his mother. He was hit by a drunk driver. He was hospitalized. He had COVID. So if a busset from Jordyn Woods can make his day a little bit better, I'm all for it, because that man had a rough year. A very, very rough year. Wasn't it weird that Tristan Thompson started trending after this?
I mean, hey, they were just reminding him of what he had and what could have been.
People are petty. Her man was not trending after the busted challenge. Tristan, some guy she shared a kiss with, was trending. Yeah, petty as hell. Let's get into plays this week. The Sixers had an amazing week, and we got more games on the way. We're playing the Hornets on Wednesday, 7:00. This is an away game. Thursday versus the Trailblazers, 8:00. It's a home game. And this Saturday game is about to be a beast with the Nets. We have not played them. They kind of look like they are like a monster team right now with Kyrie and James and KD. I believe they're number 2 in the East. We're still number 1 in the East. Do you have any predictions for these games, T?
I think this week will show us a lot about the Sixers, because all three of these teams, respectively, today are currently in the playoff race. The Blazers and the Nets are over 500. I think Saturday's game, though, could be an Eastern Conference Finals preview. as we get to see what KD and Embiid to do. And I think them two also right now are the two front runners for league MVP. So maybe Joel will go for another 40+ night to kind of prove that he's the man with the plan this season.
Yeah, and then we'll see if Joel is back. He's been out for some back tightness, and obviously we're trying to conserve our big guy and our MVP candidate. We don't want him getting hurt early in the season, especially since it seems like we are going to be on our way to the playoffs. And I need y'all negative Nancy's and y'all negative Neils to pipe down, because I was talking playoff talk on Twitter, and people were like, we not going to the playoffs. Ben can't shoot. Come on, guys.
Sixers will make a lot of noise in the playoffs. A lot of noise.
And if we get JJ Redick back, listen, it's about to be a problem. So we are right on time. Look at that, baby. Listen, thank you for tuning into our second show. Everybody live on YouTube and Twitter and Facebook and Twitch for the very first time. We're going to be joining you every Monday, 12 o'clock. It will either be myself and T or myself and Sean. So we are the new basketball dream team here. So thank you everybody for their support. There's been a lot of positive support, and we're just happy to be here, right?
I'm thrilled to be here.
Listen, Sixers are number one. We won without Joel Embiid. Life is good, okay? Find Terrell. Where can they find you on Twitter, T?
You can check me out at Eldorado2452. Also check out These Urban Times, theseurbantimes.com as well. Always up for a great sports debate, music debate, entertainment talk.
All right, and I'm Mina SayWhat. Find me on social media at Mina SayWhat. I will talk to you next week. Thank you for watching. It's the Shot Clock.